Yo, it's your boy Pella. Want to hit y'all with this ether from the book Ruins of Empire by Count Vony. All right, this is the Frenchman. He wrote this book. You see, this is back in the 1800s, right? And so let's go ahead and check it out. It says, this is the preface. It says, having recently purchased a set of stereotype plates by Vony's ruins with a view of reprinting the same, I found on examination that they were considerably worn by the many editions that had been printing from them, and that they greatly needed both repairs and corrections. A careful estimate showed the amount necessary for the purpose would go far towards reproducing this standard work in modern type and in improved form. After due reflection, this course was at length decided upon, and all the more readily as by discarding the old plates and resetting the entire work, the publisher was enabled to greatly enhance its value by inserting translator's preface as it appeared in the original edition, and also to restore many notes and other valuable material which had been carelessly omitted in the American print. So he's saying there was something omitted. So he says, an example of an important omission of this kind may be found on the 15th, 16th, and 17th pages of this volume, which may be appropriately referred to in this connection. It is there stated, in describing the ancient kingdom of Ethiopia and the ruin of Thebes, her opulent metropolis, that there are a people now forgotten, discovered, while others were yet barbarians, the elements of the arts and sciences. A race of man now rejected from society for their sable, I always say sable means sable black skin and woolly hair, founded on the study of the laws of nature, those civil and religious systems which still govern the universe. Stuff like the zodiac, right? Study the zodiac. A voluminous note in which standard authorities are cited seem to prove that this statement is substantially correct, that we are in reality indebted to the ancient Ethiopians to the fervent imagination of the persecuted and despised Negro. For the various religious systems now so highly revered by the different branches of both the Semitic and Aryan race. Now, Semitic is an African Asiatic language, and we know the original Aryans were African people, but they're trying to make it seem like these are European white people, just to let you know. But we know Semitic is African Asiatic. That's why you have to know your history, right? This fact is so frequently referred to in Mr. Varney's writing may perhaps solve the question as to the origin of our religions, to the origins of our religions, and may even suggest a solution to the secret so long concealed beneath the flat nose, thick lips, and Negro African features of the ancient Kemetic Sphinx. So we're going to say ancient, it's an ancient Egyptian, ancient Kemetic Sphinx. It may also confirm the statement of Diodorus that the Ethiopians conceived themselves, we Ethiopians, as the inventors of divine worship, of festivals, of solemn assemblies, of sacrifices, and every other religious practice. That an imaginative and superstitious race of black men and women should have invented and founded in the dim obscurity of past ages a system of religious beliefs that still enthralls the minds and clouds the intellect of the leading representative of modern theology, and that still clings to the thoughts and tinges with its potential influence the literature and faith of the civilized and cultured nations of Europe and America, is indeed a strange illustration of the mad caprice of destiny, of the insignificant and apparently trivial causes that often produce the most grave and monumentous results. The translation here given closely follows the published by Paris Louvois Croix Malacroix in 1802, which was under the direction and careful supervision of the talented author, and whatever notes Count Vony then thought necessary to insert in his work are here carefully reproduced without abridgment or modification. The portraits, maps, illustrations are from a French edition of Vony's complete works published by Bosage Ferraz at Number 12 ruled the Shin Paris in 1821, 1 year after the death of Mr. Voney. It is a presentation copy of the part of Madame the Countess de Voney and of the nephew of the author, and it may therefore be taken for granted that Mr. Voney's portrait, as here given, is correct and was satisfactory to his family. An explanation of the figures and diagrams shown on the map of the astrological heavens of the ancient has been added in the appendix by the publisher. Peter Eckler, New York, January 3rd, 1890. And so I think we talked about this earlier when we showed how the United States of America is trying to brainwash. What to say, an example of a mission of this kind may be found on pages 16, 15, 16, and 17 of this book, where it's talking about how it says, of the ancient kingdom of Ethiopia. They say kingdom, but they talking about all black people, right? Moors, Hebrews. There are a people now forgotten while discovered, yet barbarians, the elements of arts and science, a race of man now rejected from society for their black skin and woolly hair, founded on the study of laws, nature, those civil and religious systems which still govern the universe. Like I said earlier, the zodiac. And then it says that we are indebted to the ancient Ethiopians and the present Ethiopia, the black folks, and to the favorite imagination of the persecuted and despised Negro, black folks, us. And then we go over here, the ancient quote for we read Diodorus. He go another quote. He says the Ethiopians, so he's gonna say the black folks, the Africans, conceive themselves as the inventors of divine worship, of festivals, of solemn assemblies, of sacrifices, and of every other religious practice. That an imaginative and superstitious race of black men and women should have invented and founded in the dim obscurity of the past ages a system of religious belief that still enthralls the mind and clouds the intellect of the leading representatives of the modern theology. And so what they're saying is we are such an ancient and highly advanced people that they have to take our history out the books. You see how this European, because there are Europeans who want to know the truth. So he found the truth. He like, hey, I want to be known in history as a truth teller. And so he came, this is the book, Ruins of Empire. Count Voney caught them admitting that this African quote to us black people, he said that there are people now forgotten, discovered while others were yet barbarians, an element of arts and science, a race of man now rejected from society for their black skin and woolly hair. And so it just tells you that, like he said, the flat nose, lips, and African features of the Egyptian Sphinx. And so it's just telling you how we are already advanced. That's why they have to start our history with slavery, because it's hard to deal with the fact that we are ancient people, advanced people, technologically, theology. And so we have to be ourselves. But I'm going to read the Treaty of Peace and Friendship next, but I just wanted to show you this because you have to know that we are already wise. Like it says, that an imaginative and superstitious race of black men and women should have invented and founded a system of religious belief that still clouds the mind. All right, it's your boy Pillar. I'll talk to y'all later. I love you. Peace.